exactly. And it's also like, so
just like, who
okay,
do you
so
think we are? Like,
like
what do you think we are?
yeah. So then literally before Corona started, there was this like big group chat on Snapchat with like 2 big friend groups basically, and the majority of us are black, and there may be like several other races, but like majority of us are black. And then there's this one guy I was always like, he would always send us stories of like Daily Mails or just people's like stories on Instagram talking about like racism, or someone white would say the N-word, or they would say something about black women, and they're like, what do you, a black guy, and then they'll be like, what do you guys think about this? Or they'll be like, yeah, go off on him. And I'm just like, why are you sending this to us? What do you expect me to do?
People being like, oh, I wouldn't mess with you, like,
yeah,
why? Have I given you any reason to know? You don't know how strong I am.
Yeah,
you have no idea.
Yeah, so literally, so this person would always send me this stuff, and then once I,
are you shaking in like that's truth? Like you've seen this happen.
She's disappointed.
But
yeah,
Mom, but literally, notice like how much of these things are true. Like I don't know if anyone's ever looked at you like, aren't you gonna pop off? Aren't you gonna be like the black woman? Like, you know what I mean? Like
go
aren't you gonna fight me? Aren't you gonna take off your earrings?
No, literally.
Aren't you gonna dance for me? Like just like what?
Yeah. So what then literally, and then what's the word? Yeah. So then one time, this person sent it to me directly. Oh no, they sent it to on the group. Then I messaged him privately, because I'm like, I'm not trying to start like a girls versus boys argument, because that happens a lot on that group chat. Yeah. But then so then I was like, why do you always send these things to us? It's like, are you trying to rile us up? Like what's the beef? It's like, if you think it's so wrong, message him yourself. Like, message the racist person. Why are you trying to tell me? And like, no, it's just I know these things get you mad. Exactly. So why are you running it by me? You know what I mean?
So you want to make
it's literally like, I'm like, I know these certain things get like my mate that lives in Cape Town mad. You don't see me texting her. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Because you want to see a black woman pop off.
You just want to see me pop off. And there's this whole thing of how, so there's this group. Like there's this group, they're called Black Squad, right? And they're all, the guys in the group, they're all black, except one person's a mixed, but like he's still black, like half black. Yeah, then basically, so then for my friend group, so we're all black except one girl, she's white, and then we never named ourselves ever. Oh my gosh, heavens to Betsy, we have literally not named ourselves, and it pisses me off, right? But then literally people, because we would all hang out together, people started calling us Female Black Squad. People called us Female Black Squad, right? And then it started like, because Black Squad was referred to as BS, then we were referred to as FBS, and then that's also when people started calling us Fat B-Word Squad. You know what I mean? FBS, Fat B-Word Squad. Yeah. But then literally, the thing that angers me, the thing that angers me is the fact that it's like, people always get mad when they don't live up to the standards that they've made when they made us Female Black Squad. Yeah. So then literally, someone says something, and then people chant FBS, FBS. And I'm like, why are you chanting me? I did not do my signature move and show. Like I'm not in my acrobat gear. I've not done my tightrope walk. Why are you clapping? Why are you chanting?
Though it's like you set the standard of what you think they are, and then you're disappointed when they're not that. And I'm like, you actually did this whole little act by yourself. I didn't even need to be in the room. Like
yeah, and the fact that like they would always like the whole school would literally gas us to fight someone. And then if one of us actually was like, oh, fine, I'll just do it to give in, then they'll call us more names, and there'll be more microaggression. Exactly. People would then mock us again for that situation.
Like
people would take videos. I mean? People would then say things like, in birthday texts or birthday videos, people would mention that. People would say things like this under their breath in class, where a teacher would literally feel at a standstill because they don't know how to react, because they can see that I'm literally hurting if my so-called friends would do this to me. You know what I mean? And it's just also like, I hate, like, it's really hard, the fact that they always, I was gonna say chanted these things, because of how literally we would always end up, it would literally be us versus the rest of the school at this point, because that school has a lot of messed people. So literally always be like us trying to just us trying to talk to people about a certain situation that happened that we think is wrong, in a way of like, we think it's wrong, hear us out, and then people just take it as the angry black girl thing. And then that's also when they started being like FBS, the angry black girls. Then they started saying like, oh, you must fight. But the minute I fight,
you call me an angry black girl.
So I'm just like, you're pushing me to do something so that you can get more of what you want. And then you get mad at me for not doing what you want so that you couldn't get what you want. So then now you're extra mad at me. So either way you hate me. And that's literally how the world works with black women. We will literally, they just don't want to see us win because they choose for us. And then when we don't act accordingly, they again choose for us. And just always the lack of choice that we have, like we're deprived of our own like lives and rights. And I know, yes, we have the right to vote, the right to this, but I'm like, in terms of the actual humanity and human rights, we're not given that. And that's what people aren't listening or like not hearing when we're trying to speak, because they're always like, and like something that I said in one of my confession thingies for the post that my friends did, I was saying how Bambi and I were talking about like the whole angry black girl thing and how it's literally like been a thing, like every grade has angry black girls at AISJ, and I feel like that's everywhere. And I literally said how like it's literally
not just the black girl squad,
but
it's the angry black girl
squad.
Whether you fight, whether you don't fight,
especially when you're a group, because you're seen.
And the thing about fighting, like everyone targets that group. Like you're picked on, so you retaliate because of being picked on because of your darkness, and then it's like, oh, angry black squad, there we go. You know what I mean? Like,
and it's literally, and the fact that it's literally things like an Olympic torch of angry black girls that being passed down, but it's never us passing it down. It's everyone else basically putting in the batteries in that torch and handing it to the next group of their choice. You know what I mean? Like, because it's literally, and then people are like, oh, then why? Like this one kid, he was like, oh, it's not my fault that you guys made your lives so public and get hurt by all these things. I'm like, you don't understand. We also ended up being friends because of how we were hurt by this. You guys oppressed us and discriminated against us, right? Yeah, discriminated against us and mocked us on the daily and throughout our lives. Not just you guys, also our schools in the past, and just people at the mall, Mang, like all these other places, that we literally felt like the only people we could actually truly be with are other black women, because those are the people that understand us. So I'm just like, the fact that you guys won't let us have the freedom that we find within our friendships and use that bit of strength that we still have, even in the short 19 years of my life, you guys still try to knock down the bit of strength, power and love that's still in my body.
And we just bond over the fact that like individually all black women get picked on individually, so we're just like, oh, let's just get picked on together. So we come together, then you guys are like, oh, you guys have joined forces to be a force of angry black cloud, blah blah blah, like, you know what I mean? It's like, but we're actually only hanging out because, not only hanging out, but we just gravitate towards each other because we're all just being picked on and oppressed separately. Like we're like, we might as well just get together. And then that's why those things always grow and grow and grow until there's a whole cloud of angry black women, and you guys are just out here like, oh, black women are just angry. And it's like, actually, because it's individually happening and we all just understand each other. Like this is actually my last story that we should probably finish it, whatever. Like the thing about microaggressions, and like what I want to point out with the thing of like putting black women in positions that like sort of force them to be aggressive or force them to be assertive, and then using that situation to slander them and be like, oh, we knew you were like this, like da 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 da, is like when I was on a tour when I was on England tour at Confront. So it was like the only black people it was me, Remo, Tamara and Palessa. We were the only black people there. But like, yeah, first of all, so let's start. Number one, let's start. So me and my two other friends, like, we decided that we were gonna go on this tour together. We didn't even know this other black girl was going, really. Like, we decided we're going together. We didn't really plan it with her, so we were like, whatever. Like, we were always friends, but genuinely we were friends because of the fact that we were black women. Like, just that thing of like, I got you, you got me. Like, we always got each other. Like, we're not gonna pretend like we don't know each other type of vibe. So we were on tour, but you could only stay in a room with two people. So like, my two friends stayed together, and I was like, didn't have anyone to stay with. And so then this other black girl was like, okay, yeah, like, we'll just stay together, like, no problem. Which in itself is because she was going with her white friends, and none of them wanted to stay with her. Like she was left to stay by herself. And like that's why we ended up rooming together, which is like number one, first like racism, like strike of racism is just like singling people out, like being like, oh, we're friends, oh, we should hang out, oh, we should all go to Europe tour, but then not like including you in things and not like inviting you. So she was rooming with me, which is already now again like how black women come together. You guys are like, oh, how do you guys end up a crowd of black women? It's like, do you understand? Like, we weren't even planning on coming together at all. But like, because it's like, I feel you, you feel me. I know what that feels like. I step up to the plate, like, and we're like, okay, we're like, cool, we'll be together. Like, don't worry, I got your back, like, kind of thing, right? And then that's how the angry black women squad grows, because it's such like this. You know, you leave a black woman out, and then she's there by herself, and her like other black women are like, that's not fair. Come sit with us. You know, like that's how it works. And so, because then she's also, they're like, they left me because I'm black. And I'm like, yeah, we're here because we're black. Come, you know, like, and then that's how it happens. So then, now we're on the tour the whole time. Like, her friends have been like, these white girls have been like leaving her. Okay, besides the fact that throughout the whole tour, now we're the only 4 black women on the whole tour. And everyone else is like white men, white women, white girls. There were so many microaggressions on that tour. Like, the teacher's telling everyone like what time to be there and looking at us like, girls, don't be late. Huh? The only 3 black people in the whole of England, and you want to tell us, looking at us, and especially you, don't be late.
You can't
get out my face.
You can't tune African
Get out my
timing
face.
because
Get out my
other
face.
people are African.
Doesn't even matter. Like, why are you doing that? So the whole tour can look at us and be like, black people, what's your problem?
Yeah.
Like, that's what you did, because that's how they looked at us. They were all like, yeah, you guys, like, anytime like there was any like issue or whatever, like they'd always like come and be like, was it you girls? Like the whole bloody tour, like anything, everyone in the whole tour was so quiet. Like all the white girls and white boys were like so quiet, kept their opinions to themselves, like whatever. Like just because like one of us had something to say, it was all like, oh, out of place, interrupting you guys, a disruption to the group. Like, why don't you just stay in your lane? Like, just for laughing. If we laugh, oh, why are you laughing? Like, what do
black
you mean?
people laughing is such an issue.
Like, yeah, I don't know why black people laughing is such an issue, just because we laugh at like a higher decibel than you. Like, I'm actually so sorry that your jokes aren't funny.
Yeah, that's
and
not
you're
my
not there
business.
enjoying the joke. Like, we're talking about like, I'm here laughing at a joke because it's funny, and you're saying I'm disrupting the class, huh?
It's not my business.
Like, that's so annoying. Like, just being like, you guys are just disruptive, and like, you don't let the other kids concentrate. Like, whatever, anyways, like, because that's like a microaggression itself. I'm like, you're only talking to black people, and it's because like maybe, I don't know, culturally we laugh or something, but anyway. So like yeah, we're on this tour, right? And then like these girls have been leaving this girl out the whole time, like from the beginning, her staying in my room and everything. Like, they were ignoring her the whole time. They've been like racist towards her, like leaving her out, going to like stores, like going to hairdressers that she can't go to, like all these kind of microaggressions, right? So we're on the bus, ne? We're out here somewhere, and these girls are behind me and my 3 friends. We're enjoying our time. This other girl sitting by herself. Her friends have left her alone. We hear them skittering, I don't know what, like behind us. So my one friend stands up on the bus, turns around and says like, what the hell is wrong with you guys? Starts calling her out, like out loud, for their like blatant disrespect, racism, like everything. She calls them out for that, right? They get the most flustered I've ever seen people get in my life. Guys, talk about tomatoes. Talk about a bag of tomatoes. Those guys were literally like so red. They were just kind of like, no, but, and I was like, actually, it's actually really funny that you have nothing to say, because you had so much to say 2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So much so, I couldn't even listen to my bloody movie through my earphones. Like, and now you're busy, chat. Anyways, like, so then we start calling them out, right? Whatever, like, basically, we get mad. They get so mad at us. The whole bus looks at us like, they didn't have to say anything. The whole bus looks at us like angry black women. Yes. Huh? The whole bus looks at us like angry black women. Look at what you done. Like, we look around and people are like shaking their heads, like looking
people
down,
do
like kind of like whispering, like, I knew it. Like, those girls just caused so much trouble. I don't know what, like, just for calling people out for being disrespectful to another black woman, and like standing up for people, standing up for a person that has no defense, like that, like we can relate to, whatever. Like, after that, she like hung out with us. We were like sit with us, like literally don't even like pay them no attention for the rest of the tour. But my point is just like, so now you've put us in this position, you're ridiculing a black woman, like leaving her there, you're talking behind her back, you've been making it our problem because we didn't even plan on coming on this tour with her, but now we're like now have to step up to the plate because it's like this is not fair. Then we call you out on that, and you guys want to like make it seem like I don't even know like why they started shouting at us, and I don't even know what, and then the whole bus is like looking at us like we're some crazy like aggressive people, when the whole time you guys have just been racist, rude, and all of these things, and we're just calling you out. Like, do you understand why we're angry? And then we like now start shouting, and then now you're gonna be like, we see, you're always causing a mess. But it's like, when the racism comes, when the leaving out comes, and the skittering out comes, like who's the one who gets hurt? It's never you. It's never you. Like, it's never gonna be you. So it's like, we have to shout because that's the only way you get heard. And then you now want to be like, oh, you aggressive black woman, I don't know what. After that, the teachers got mad at us and said like we're causing a ruckus in the bus. The bus stopped, the bus driver stopped, said, no girls, she said, sit down, you guys are causing a fuss, you guys are messing up the whole tour, you're ruining the energy. Like, like guys, like I can't even deal. I actually can't even deal. And like, the thing that's so like, all they wanted us to do, like the less we spoke up about things that were bothering us, like the better we were in their books, like just allowing the microaggression, allowing the racism, like the more they were like, no girls, like you're doing so much better. We had to lick those women's asses for the rest of the tour just so that we wouldn't get sent home, essentially, for being black women. Like, what? And we were the only black people, like black women on that tour, and we were getting the fire burnt like every single day for ridiculous things, taking too long in the bathroom, I don't even know what, like just start pulling stuff out your bum. Like, I was just kind of like, you guys don't think this is racism? I actually don't understand.
Yeah.
And then you talk about it and it's just kind of like, you're causing a ruckus. Like that was when I was like, okay, so racism is a thing. Like, no, mom, that day.
How do we fix all this? How do we
Mom, this is what we're gonna. That's what I'm trying to say.
So guys, to wrap it up, we're just gonna have another last discussion about like, because I feel like we're all like amazingly and thankfully, blessingly, if that's even a word, a lot of black women that at least I know personally and have seen that friends of friends were all kind of like, yeah, that's not right too. I've been hurt too. We're all like, yeah. But I feel like we're all kind of like, yeah. But our hands are just here, and it's just like, what now? So I also thought another reason why I really thought we should bring my mother here, because I feel like she is older. Of course, she's older because she had us. So she's had like more years being a black woman. So I feel like I wanted to know, like, what do we do from here? Like, not even in terms of activism, like for healing. You know what I mean? And also, like, if you're still watching and you're not a black woman and you want to know how to help us with healing, we'll also discuss that. So yeah, do you have any ideas? Because
I think the first thing with healing is what you've been doing, which is talking about it.
Yeah, guys, talk about it. Like,
and realizing you're not alone.
I think talking
get it off
about
your chest.
and
Every
knowing
little thing, even the things that you think like, oh, this is silly. Like, if it hurts you, because sometimes it's just as silly as like, oh, somebody pushed in line at the tuck shop, like, but you knew in your heart it was about your race.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, just talk about it and be like, no, that was racism. This is where this came from. But yeah.
So I think talking about it is really, really important. I mean, like anything, if you want to heal, you need to have a bit of a vision of where you want to go. Where do you want it to be? What do you want it to look like? You know. And I really think that an important concept that I think we all need to think about is your circle of influence. Right? So sometimes some of these things are big and institutional across the whole world. You can't fix that because it's everywhere, right? But if, for instance, you're in a school environment and you have a circle of friends and you want to change the way in which the relations have been, you know, that might be worth thinking about. How do we fix this part? This is my circle of influence. I don't like how it's, you know. So the first thing obviously is vent. and do exactly like you've done. You vented, but you've also brought to their attention, those who've been the aggressors, you brought to their attention how they've been aggrieving you, right? And you know, hopefully, one or two of them has had a bit of an aha. But there are some who are denialists, and one of the things we see, especially with racism here in South Africa, is the level of denialism and defensiveness that there is. And so that's a really big problem. So a lot of this is also, you know, you defining a vision of what you want to see, in terms of your relationships. You know, initially it might be that I just don't want to have relationships with anybody who has anything to do with aggression. But your vision might also be that, you know, I really just want us to, you know, to be better wherever we are. You're going to go to college soon. How do you start making sure that in those contexts?
I would also say, like, go out of your way to, like, listen to and support other Black women. Like, make it like a thing in your mind where you're just kind of like, you know, if you need to just, like, I don't know, like, ask everyone how they're doing, and ask the Black woman twice. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how are you doing? Auntie,
how are you really
sister,
doing?
How are you doing? How can I help?
How are you really
You know
doing?
what I mean? Like, I think, like what my mom was saying in the beginning about solidarity, like, it's very important, because let's be honest, I think there's very little another Black woman can say that you're like, don't know what you mean. Like, very, very, very little. Like, I know, like, I don't think there's a Black woman that I've spoken to in my life that I've said anything close to this and they're like, nah, not me. Like, there's no way. Like, we can all relate off of that basis.
Or at least understand what.
Or at least understand where you're coming from or how you feel. So I feel like just being there for each other, like, like being there for each other, supporting each other, like educating each other on how they deserve to be treated, on how you deserve to be treated, and what's okay and what's not okay. And like,
that's a very good one. I mean, I think for me, the Me Too movement is a very, very good example of how solidarity between women created a movement across the world that has impacted in multiple ways, you know? Because women came together and they decided we're actually going to start calling you out. Right? And one after the other came and joined the Me Too, Me Too, Me Too, Me Too, Me Too, right? And you know, really just calling out men and in essence describing or defining the vision of a world that they want to be a part of. And so in the movie industry, they were basically saying, we are no longer going to stand for Harvey Weinstein's in our lives. So we are now going to talk about this because we no longer want to be, we want to have equal access and rights to perform and act and do what we need to do without fear of constantly being persecuted by men who are very powerful around us. So, you know, you've left the school now, but if you were in the school, still, you know, you could decide, for instance, what kind of Me Too you're trying to set up there. I'm just saying that, you know. But then you find that maybe this is not something that would happen just at that school. Maybe it's something that happens at all the international schools. So it builds its own momentum. And that's what the Me Too movement did, because they decided, okay, we're not gonna stand anymore for this. And you set that kind of vision, and then you start building towards it, you know? So movements really work, and one of the biggest things that we see now is that social media is such a powerful tool. But if it's the same thing that you know, it's one message, like what is it that you want to do? So the solidarity is a big one for me, I think. Speaking out about it is another big one. But beginning to design and define sort of an outcome that you want to see, you know, where you know, because actually there are laws and policies against microaggression. It's called harassment. It's called abuse. It exists. It's actually, you know, it's just that there isn't. We as Black women haven't been organized enough to take it on. Yeah. And even where you are, you see you're isolated because you're 2 or 3 of you, and you're just seen as these angry Black women. and you can't, you don't do too much
no,
there. But I think that there is more and more sort of building out, and it's something that at an AISJ, every class of black women from as young as possible needs to know that this is their lot, and that they need to be part of this, so that everybody knows that every black woman, as you come in, it's almost like you're getting a constitution on how to be a black woman at AISJ and take on whatever it might be, So a lot of this depends on how far you want to go, because very often, and I really appreciate the fact that after all this, you actually are saying, how do we heal, and what do we do about this? I mean, healing will come when, first of all, you've done what you're doing, which is cathartic. It's a catharsis process where you're actually, releasing sort of the anger between one another. So that's healing. But I think real healing comes when you start taking action against this, so that this doesn't become part of your life. But there's some things which are in your control, some which are not so much out of your control. So some of it requires that you look at what's in your control, and some of it is just refusing to tolerate certain behavior and calling it out. So if you were back at school, you would have hashtag I'm not taking it, or whatever, or no way, or whatever, right? Hashtag no way, right? So the minute that anyone experiences microaggression, it's on social media, hashtag no way, calling them out. And almost creating a list of microaggressions with a name next to it, so that people start getting to know, like we do offenders lists, sexual offenders lists in countries, so that everyone gets to know who are sexual offenders.
South Africa has a Bible.
They do. But I mean,
both testaments. But sorry,
But anyway, so I mean, I think these are some of the big things. But I think also trying to identify, as you're going through this, you'll find that not everybody deals with it in the same way. So one person just talking about it is healing.
Is enough.
For another one, talking about it is even worse.
It's
them.
worse,
So there may be those in your circle who, if you find that they're not coping, they may need extra help. And the extra help could come from you, or it could actually be professional help, because sometimes it might be so damaging that they don't have the tools to deal with them. But the other thing is also just to equip yourselves with the tools because this is our calling as black women. It's not going to change now. There may be, it's a little bit better than it used to be, but it's not going to stop. So building your own resilience to deal with this, so that you don't spend your entire life, completely unable to do anything because you're so impacted by it. So building the kinds of tools and skills to, and some of it is also to learn, all right, this is worth a fight. This one isn't. I'm going for the war. I don't need to fight every little battle, because that's what I was saying about strategy. You need to know about strategy. So some of them are too many little battles. This one is it's nonsense, This one is not worth my blood pressure. That one, for sure. So I'm taking that one on, because that's a bigger one. So learning these strategies are very important, so that you know when to fight, when not to fight, how to fight, and how to do it together.
And guys, honestly, I know you all, even if you are a black woman, you also need to educate yourself. Too late for you. You need to. No, I'm kidding. You need to educate yourself in these situations and just choose to listen more, because I throughout my time in high school, in this last year in grade 12, I really stopped talking about things that I thought weren't right, because no one would listen. So I was kind of like, it's not my place to always want to make you listen. Like, I'm getting tired myself. And then people would be like, Kwezi, if you cared or if you love me, mang, like, why wouldn't you say, like, if you love them, wouldn't you say something? I'm like, no, it's not even a fact of like love, care, whatever. It's literally kind of like, I can't force you to look at something differently or listen to me. You need to have your own epiphany and literally start reflecting on yourself, you know what I mean? So whether or not this video opened your eyes, please can you still just try listen to people. My Insta's down below. I'll put my mom's and my sisters as well if you guys want to talk to them, and just talk to us, just have a discussion, or have a discussion in the comments, or even just look up something, like watch a show, even if it's not just about black women, also just about black people, like watch like Dear White People, or read a book about something, and just like try more,
or Hidden Figures,
do better, and like
watch
Hidden Figures. Yeah, exactly. So just do more.
She just got
and like
NASA
do
got
better
named after her yesterday, I think.
Really? Yeah, I forgot her
Mary
name.
Jackson.
Yeah,
Mary Jackson.
Mom, I don't know, and that's the issue. But yeah, anyway, so that's what I'm saying. Like, guys, don't just try or like want to be, literally, yeah, Mary Jackson. Don't just try or want to be better. Actually do better. You know what I mean? Like, perfect practice makes perfect, you know? So it's just kind of like, actually do better so that you can be better. And yeah, honestly,
thanks for
just
bearing
really
with
reflect
us.
on yourselves, reflect on the people around you, call people out, talk to people more. Like, come on, guys, it's really 2020. Like, please,
Can
like,
I say
honestly.
something? As a mother of young women, I really am so impressed and just proud of the fact that you women have refused to passively accept this injustice, because it is injustice. And I think you need to know that there are many women, not just here in South Africa, but there's many young women across the world who are mobilizing against these same oppressions. So look that up as well. Connect to larger movements that way, so that you can see what the tactics are, what the strategies are, where the opportunities are to you know, to create the change that you want to see. I also think that while we're at it, let's take a look at those men around us who we love, and who we can impact. Our brothers, you know, your brothers, your friends, those ones who will listen. Because I truly believe that one man changed is one less aggressor, you know. And so it may seem like not much, but if you each one reach one, or you know, making sure that where you know of a young man or a man somewhere who is doing work like this, and you know, we work with men who work with other men, it's to help direct them to some of these guys, because unfortunately, if this kind of aggression continues, they will grow up to be men who are so aggressive that they could get themselves into real trouble from the law, because aggression is an injustice. So, congratulations. So proud of you. So proud of you, Lai. Really am. Keep fighting it. Don't give up.
Thanks.
Don't give up.
So,
also, I have something to say.
yeah, go for it, sister.
Not to really close. I just feel like I just felt like at the end when I was thinking, I was like, I feel like black women, like two black women, like you can be whatever you want to be. Like you can't, like you don't have to be, like you don't have to worry about being too black or too white. Like in the moving forward of this thing, like just recognize all the stuff that's been put on you of like how you're supposed to be. Like if you don't want to be like, Angela Davis and standing on stage and fighting and strong and powerful.
Yeah,
Like, you don't have to do that at all. At all, you don't have to do that. Like, if you believe this in your heart, you believe it in your heart, it will come across in all the ways you want to do it. Like, don't also now fall a victim to like, oh, you're angry, you want to be strong, you need to be this. No, like, there's no need for that. Like, this is a video that is supposed to like free you from those things. If you want to listen to 21 Pilots, listen to 21 Pilots. Like, live your life. Like, if you want to do your hair however you want to do your hair how you want to do your hair. Like, that's not the point. Like, I personally think it would be great to come to terms with the fact that you're a black woman. So understand what that means, but also don't let all the stuff that like people have been putting on black women even like define you. Like, you can make a whole new way of how you want to live your life.
Absolutely.
You don't have to like be like how anything has been before. Like, don't feel any pressure to do that, even from other black women. Like, because if we're also being honest, we're also out here like falling victim to how we're supposed to be, and we're struggling with it ourselves, you know. So like, you as a black woman have free reign to express your black womanness in any way you want to. So don't like feel pressure. Genuinely.
Thanks, guys. It was a lot. And thank you guys as well for watching this video. Please do the normal YouTuber things. Please like this video, subscribe, comment down below any points of discussion that you maybe want to continue. Have discussions with people in the comments down below as well. Any questions you have, if you want to like argue with me, you can, but like rather just listen, you know what I mean? Yeah, and also I actually think the most important thing that I would like for you to do for this channel, or at least for this video and my Black Lives Matter video, other than like subscribing and stuff, please actually share them, because I feel like there are a lot of people that really could do with these words. And I'm not saying I'm like the alpha omega wisdom, that owl from Fox and the Hound, you know, I'm not saying I'm that wisdom tree. Please don't. But I'm just saying, it's kind of like, I feel like I've raised some points that could spark parts of someone's brain somewhere, and then they could share knowledge from somewhere else. It could just be like, you could just become like a big heart of knowledge, you know. So I really feel like, most importantly, please just share and talk to other people about this, even if you are East Asian and European, you know what I mean? Like, just have a discussion about this, because it's not only about your relationships with us as black women, or with us just as black people. It's literally about how the whole world sees us and how they think of us as black women and black people. So yeah, and I'll see you guys next video. And also, let me show you my nail color. We'll show you our nail colors. Mum did, or Malika did I don't know if you can see. She did a nice red. She did a nice red. Pretty nice. There's Mom. And here's Quiz. And yo. Bye.